Good afternoon. We're here for the Parks and Recreation budget hearing. Thank you very much for coming. You probably heard my little speech, but I'll give it to you again. So for anybody who's watching this hearing just in isolation, they get some sense of where we're coming from. Initially, let me thank Council Lady Taneka Vercher, the chair of the Council's Budget and Finance Committee, for being here and taking such great notes. As you've learned from the Finance Department, this is essentially a status quo budget year. Over the last 2 years, we've had significant increases, more than $200 million in new revenue. That's allowed us to expand services in virtually every metro department, including the Parks Department. This year, we don't anticipate such an increase in our revenue. Be slightly lower, or it will be lower, slightly, maybe not the right word, it will be lower. I don't think we know exactly how much lower it will be yet. That's in part due to a record number of appeals of property reappraisals, which will result in lower property tax revenues. Additionally, we're anticipating a little bit lower revenues across the board. Having said that, we are intent upon providing the same level of service to the community that we're providing this budget year. So we're going to work hard to make sure that there are no cuts to any services that are being provided out there by any metro department. So I'm joined today not only by Council Lady Vercher, but also by the Finance Director, Ms. Atalia Lomax-O'Neill, and by the City's Chief Strategy Officer, Brian Kelsey, who is here to ask all the hard questions. Right? Okay, thank you. Thank you. I'd ask you to introduce yourself and your staff who's with you, and then make an opening statement of whatever you'd like, and then we'll probably ask you some questions.
Great. Thank you so much, Mayor Briley.
Thank you.
I'm Monique Odom, and I'm Director of Metro Parks and Recreation, and we're happy to be here to talk about FY19 and actually look at what we've done over the past couple of years. Joining me here at the table is Tim Nate. He's Assistant Director of Planning and Facilities Development, and Cindy Harrison, who leads our Greenway and Open Space Division. Also with us here today in the audience is John Holmes. He leads our Revenue Producing Division, Jackie Jones, who leads Community Affairs for our department, Steve Nellums and Sherry Hips, who lead the Community Programs and Wellness Division, Jim Hester, who leads Cultural Arts, Special Events, Outdoor and Environmental Education. That division, Rick Taylor, leads our Consolidated Maintenance Division, Janet Frazier, who is my assistant, Captain Chris Taylor, who leads our Park Police. Did I forget anyone? I'm sorry, and Alan Enzo. No. And Alan Enzo, who's our finance officer for the department. And then last but certainly not least, our Park Board Chair, George Anderson. With that, I'd also like to take an opportunity to thank the men and women who work in the Parks Department. Their dedication to their jobs, the department and the city, does not go unnoticed, and we appreciate that. I'd also like to take the opportunity to thank the Mayor's Office for all of your support of the department over the past couple of years. With that, I'd like to go into some of the accomplishments and a brief look forward of what we have coming up in 2018. So 2017 was a great year for the Parks Department, and we're looking forward to what lies ahead in 2018. Just a few of our brief accomplishments in 2017 include the completion of Plan to Play, our master plan for parks and greenways, groundbreakings for 2 new regional centers, Madison and Smith Springs, and I will come back to those. Those are included in our budget request, and I will come back to those shortly. The renaming of Frederick Douglass Park, the development of master plans for 2 new regional parks, Southeast and Ravenwood, the grand opening for Mullins Park and Whites Creek Greenway, the long-awaited opening of Fort Nashboro, We broke ground for Azafran Park and are looking forward to the grand opening in May. We hope that you'll be able to join us for that. We completed the archaeological evaluation for Greer Stadium, and thanks to your announcement last week on Tuesday for about the future of the park, we're looking forward to moving forward with demolition and then a master planning process for that property. And then also we began major renovations to Oakwood Park. Those are just a few highlights of our accomplishments in 2017. Now looking ahead to this year, we have several facilities slated to open. Hadley Park Tennis Center. The new building will operate as a freestanding facility serving the growing tennis population in the city, enhancing our opportunity to provide tournaments, instruction, and recreational tennis. It replaces the old tennis bubble that many in North Nashville are so familiar with. Madison Regional Community Center and Park and Smith Springs Park and Regional Center will open this spring. Both, again, are regional centers. In addition to the new center, Madison will include a new soccer field with lights, a new playground, walking trail, and parking lot. Smith Springs Park and Regional Center will include a playground, walking trail, parking lot, and a 3-lane swimming pool. Phase 1 of the I-440 Greenway also opens this spring. The first phase will connect Centennial and Elmington parks. Ultimately, this 7-mile greenway will link 6 parks, create new green spaces, and reconnect 14 diverse historic neighborhoods divided by the interstate. Then Phase 2 of the Centennial Park's master plan begins this spring. The park is slated for a new underground drainage and irrigation system, concrete paths lined by large native trees, new lighting for the Parthenon, restoration of the band shell, replacing the events pavilion, and installation of a new gate and plantings at the West End entrance. These improvements will require the closing of the Great Lawn for the majority of the year. In other areas of our department, we expect maximum enrollment again this year in our summer enrichment programs at community centers. We've expanded our Teaching Kitchens outreach program to include all community centers. That program is a collaborative effort between Metro Parks and the Monroe Carroll Jr. Children's Hospital at Vanderbilt. The program offers children and their families instruction on preparing nutritious, affordable meals and snacks to promote healthy eating habits. We will operate several summer camps in music, theater, dance, and tennis, and we're excited about our very first teen summer basketball league, which is a collaboration between Metro Police, Metro Schools, and Parks. It's called CRAFT, that's C-A-R-F-T, which stands for Critical Thinking, Resilience, Awareness, Fundamentals, and Teamwork. The goal is to provide positive activities as a deterrent to youth violence. It will serve 576 boys and girls throughout the city, and the program kicks off June 8th at Glencliff High School, and we will invite you to that as well, Mayor. Speaking of sports, our disabilities program will travel to Seattle, Washington to participate in the 2018 Olympic Games, Special Olympic Games, Our disabilities program offers a supervised recreation program for adults with intellectual and developmental disabilities and has done so for over 40 years. The Parthenon and the Centennial Arts Center have a variety of exhibits and events planned throughout the year. Those at the Arts Center are free. Metro Parks has full-service nature centers and visitor centers at Beeman, Bells Bend, Fort Negley, Shelby Bottoms, and Warner Parks. These centers directly serve thousands of parks visitors year-round, in addition to offering almost 4,000 educational and recreation programs to over 80,000 people each year. These centers provide a wide range of important services to park visitors on a daily basis. Last year, over 140,000 visitors were served through Nature Center and Visitor Center programs and services. Our Park Police Division currently has 3 recruits in the Police Academy. Our Park Police Division continues to do an extraordinary job in keeping our parks and greenways safe. Our Maintenance Division has completed upgrades and renovations at Hamilton Creek Marina, where we renovated 172 sailboat slips to the 40-year-old facility at a cost of $1.7 million. Luby Theater, where we replaced the old seats and carpeting at a cost of $100,000, and they installed heat and air in 4 community center gyms that did not have HVAC for a cost of $450,000. With that, I'd like to move into budget requests, keeping in mind the instructions of the finance director and your instructions about the budget. What I would like to say is we were mindful about the request that we submitted. Knowing the population, understanding the population growth of the city and the expanding park system, we also know maintaining the assets that we already have is as important as creating new spaces and new facilities. So what we have requested, we have a consolidated request for maintenance improvements, and the bulk of that is for to contract with an outside vendor to work on those spaces that are not so specialized. So rather than request bodies, personnel to do that, a strategic way of us getting that done is to use vendors, we believe. And then also included in that request is for equipment and supplies for the staff that we already have and for the demand that we already have in the system now. I mentioned Smith Springs and Madison Regional Community Centers and their opening. A request here is to complete full-year funding for those facilities, staffing, and operations. As I mentioned earlier, they are scheduled to open this spring, and we're looking forward to that. We received partial funding last fiscal year, and this will complete the full year of funding. And finally, our final request is for personnel expenses for our Park Police captain. We do have an agreement with Metro Police, and we have a Park Police Metro Police captain, who leads our Park Police division, which helps with coordination and leadership. And it's been in effect since 2007, and it works very well for us. That this funding has not been previously included in our budget. We haven't requested it before, but are now, see the need for it now, and so that is a part of it. With that, before I take your questions, I'd like to jump over to the document that I shared with you. That what this is, it just kind of gives a clearer picture of our current year budget. And I know that to many, when we say we have an almost $40 million operating budget, that seems like a lot, and we are very grateful for what we have. But this document breaks it out and shows you what we are, how we spend the money. We have 3 major categories: salaries, benefits, and other, which in most cases is discretionary spending. Of course, personnel expenses, salaries, and benefits are the largest part of our budget. I will say, even with that being, with those types of expenditures being the largest part of our budget, our staff is very lean. And we rely on community partners and partnerships to make our train go, so to speak. Once we get down to the other section of the budget, that includes utilities and internal service fees and then transfers. And then once we get down, you'll see where it says everything else, and that's almost $3.5 million. So some things in that everything else are treatment for chemicals, water treatment chemicals, refuse disposal, drug testing, telecommunications, internet services. I won't go through the whole list because you can read it, but I call those have-tos. We have a lot of have-tos. And so out of that almost $3.5 million. When you get through some of the have-tos, because I did not list them all, we are left with really a discretionary budget of about a little under $700,000 for the entire park system, which spans the entire county. And I would say that our staff does a great job managing the resources that we are given, and we will continue to do that. We are going to do our part per your request, and I just wanted to share that with you to make our budget position clearer. So with that, I will entertain your questions.
I'll start out with contracted services.
Yes.
That piece of your budget request.
Yes.
In terms of your existing budget, how much of that today is being done internal versus contracted out services in terms of your maintenance at your parks? Is it 90%, probably?
Probably 90%.
With staff?
With staff, probably 90%. The only contracted services that we have in terms of maintenance, for the most part, are some custodial services. What we're looking at here is looking at grounds maintenance services. So greenways and, grounds of all the parks and facilities. When we can contract those out, that will be, I think, a better bang for our value for our dollar.
That was going to be my question. Do you think that that's more efficient than having staff on board to do that?
Absolutely, and it's more efficient, more cost efficient. It doesn't require any additional funds for fringes, so and salaries. So yes, that's most efficient.
And those are part-time. Those are temporary jobs anyway. If you hired them for parks,
if we hired them
internally,
if we hired them, normally they're full-time.
Is that right?
No, they would be assigned to a crew of 4 or 5 with a leader, and then 4 or 5 crew members to take care of the grounds. So using a vendor rids us of all the additional personnel expenses that would go with hiring individuals.
Is it daily service though, Monday through Friday? Somebody's there every day?
Not every day, and it largely would depend on the park. There are high visibility parks like Centennial.
Right.
We give that a lot of attention. Out here, Public Square Park, those types. But then there are other parks. I mean, we have over 16,000 acres of park land, and then over 185 park spaces. And with acquiring land and space, there is usually an operating budget impact. People enjoy parks and green spaces, and we like to provide those, and as I mentioned, they do have an operating budget impact, and we are very much at a point where we cannot absorb anymore.
You want me to go on? Okay. You had a lot of remarks about a lot of stuff at the beginning, but we spent quite a bit of time also this year talking about cameras in parks. Mm-hmm. Would you just provide everyone an update on that? Because we have invested some resources there to make sure that we start moving the needle in terms of having additional coverage in the parks.
Absolutely.
And I don't think that was in your remarks. Can you just speak to that briefly?
I will. I'll give you an overview, and then I will, following this meeting, I can share with you the monthly report that we get for cameras. We did get an appropriation of $500,000. Was it earlier this year? To expand our coverage of camera technology in parks. And we work with ITS and also the Metro Police in placing those. We particularly place those in high visibility areas or parks and facilities that have high attendance, and then also based on crime crime occurrences. So we are in the process. We have a priority list for placing those, and that is in progress. Placing of cameras is in progress. We're working down that list. Thank you so much for the appropriation. It's helped and gone a long way. And we have a staff member who that's his sole responsibility, and he coordinates again with ITS and our and with Metro Police through our Park Police Captain.
Okay. You've worked really hard on that. I want to thank you for it.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
A couple questions.
Yes, sir.
When we have a cold weather event and we have to make sure that our homeless population
Yes.
has a place to go, how does that impact your operations at the community centers, and what fiscal impact does that have?
Very honestly, there's a lot of heavy lifting that goes into that. We start early in the summer, and we'll meet again this summer to prepare for the upcoming cold weather months. We coordinate with social services and the Homelessness Commission. Also involved are, I know, the Sheriff's Department, Metro Police. So it's a coordinated effort. And again, I'll say very humbly that it is a lot of heavy lifting for our parks teammates. We pull in folks from consolidated maintenance and then the community centers, and then there are other divisions who may come in and help us get ready for that. But we usually have less than 24 hours to prepare, and we have gotten specialized training in some ways to deal with some of our neighbors who are experiencing homelessness. I know that social services has worked with the Humane Society to accommodate folks who have pets. I did not include the budget impact in this request. It is a budget impact. We pay our employees overtime for this. We open the community centers. Of course, they're open overnight. And then, too, it seems to have worked best for the warming centers to be at a couple of regional centers. Those are centers that take reservations on the weekend. So if we find out that the temperature is going to be below, I think it's 25 degrees now, or is it 32? I can't remember what it changed. 32 degrees, then we immediately are, going into action and preparing. And many times we've had to call folks who've made reservations, and they may have had the reservations for quite a bit of time, several weeks, and we either offer them a refund or offer for them to have their event at another location. You bring up the warming centers, and I really have to give a lot of credit and want to thank the leadership and teammates in our community recreation division, our consolidated maintenance division, park police. Those groups, those divisions especially give attention to preparing for these warming centers and hosting folks who may have need to use these centers in a very humane, respectful, and professional way. And I know that it's not always easy, and I just want to thank them for that.
Community centers. One more question about community centers.
Sure.
Over the last few months, we have been talking a bit about how to leverage, our excellent network of community centers to try to increase youth engagement. As we kind of look at the fiscal realities now and know that there's not a ton of new money to go around and try to rethink or redesign some of those community centers around more or stronger youth engagement to build on, what you guys are already doing. Any thoughts on that, and can we still look at that over this year?
We actually intend to continue looking at that.
Okay.
The need is there, and so we talked about it internally. We'll continue to look at that and see how we can implement either parts of the program or all of it for that matter. I'd like to go back to the Teen Summer Basketball League. That's a part of implementing one of those innovative programs. We haven't had a summer basketball league, a teen summer basketball league, and not only is this program focused on basketball leagues and tournaments and play, it's also focused on financial literacy and enrichment skills. So a part of a young person being involved with this particular program is that not only do they have to be enrolled in a local high school, they have to commit to attending 4 enrichment kind of modules or units, which may be social media responsibility, financial literacy, or some other life-enriching program that will give them life skills. So it's not just about basketball, it's it's mentorship, it's all of those components that we hope will have an impact on curbing youth violence in the city.
Okay. One more question. You guys did a lot of work on your Plan and Play program. And I know that was a heavy lift. You engaged a lot of people. And, when you get done with one of those kind of planning processes and you start to talk about implementation, going into a status quo budget environment is not exactly ideal. How are you all planning to communicate, some of those, low-hanging fruit or kind of early wins this year back to everybody who participated in that planning process, given the budget environment right now?
Well, I will start, and then I'll throw it over to Tim to kind of chime in. But I feel like one of some low-hanging fruit, if you will, I mentioned the Ravenwood property and the Southeast Davidson property, very large swaths of property, particularly in Southeast Davidson County, through Plan to Play. A deficit in green space and programming and services was identified, and so both of those properties, the master planning process for those properties was complete in December, and I believe Tim and his staff are sharing that with the community and looking forward to moving forward in some way. But I think completing those and having at least some sort of plan in place, some sort of design in place for those properties, I think is very important, and I'd attribute that to Plan to Play.
All of the projects that we've submitted in the CIB for this year are consistent with Plan to Play, and we've submitted them in a format that is consistent with the specific capital recommendations and our communication with the planning department. There are multiple capital projects that are currently underway, again, consistent with Plan to Play. There are other recommendations in Plan to Play related to operations and funding that are really critical. The capital recommendations in Plan to Play are based on are premised on the development of some new strategies for how we operate. So, for example, better developed memoranda of understanding with partner organizations, and Monique has been leading on that process, and some of those other sort of operational recommendations that we hope to continue to devote time to and move forward on implementing.
Okay.
And so with Ravenwood, I'm ignorant about what the actual master plan is for that, and what the time. So that's going to be in the capital improvements budget, and presumably a request for capital spending in the late summer, fall. Is that right?
That's correct. For the Ravenwood Lytle Bend site and for the Antioch Southeast site, we're currently in schematic design on those. They're in the FY19 CIB, and we'll have more detailed development of cost estimates for phase ones on each of those sites in time for the capital spending plan.
And those could proceed without an operational budget impact this year. The operational would be in the 20 budget, or is the
That's
that
correct.
right?
Yeah, we would be requesting essentially construction funds in FY19. So then it would be another year before.
So this year's operational budget is not an obstacle to proceeding with those on the capital side.
Correct.
Okay. Well, is this your first mayor's budget hearing?
No, it's
After you
As director.
As director. As
yes.
director, it is. Well, you did better than I did. I
No.
can say that with proof. I'm certain that you did. Thanks for coming and presenting. As I look at your budget and just look at the multiplier you get on what we spend there, I think it's significant. There's also so much community support that backs you up, all the Friends organizations, Negley and Shelby. I know I'm going to leave somebody out now,
so don't start naming.
So I'm not going to start naming. But they're all, it's a demonstration of how important the work is that the Parks Department does. And just the fact that there's so many people willing to kick in a little bit extra to make it happen. And I hope you know I'm a big supporter of everything y'all are doing, and keep up the good work.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.